Hello and welcome to the Cubbears fan report for September the 23rd, 2024. The Bears dropped to 1-2 after losing to the Colts in Indianapolis yesterday by a score of 21-15. I think that's what the score was. Yeah, 21-16. They lost by 5 points. That's 2 games in a row they've lost by less than a touchdown. They turned the corner, I think, on offense with Caleb Williams, who actually threw for 363 yards, was 33 of 52. I got some optimism out of it. I saw Caleb Williams throw his first 2 touchdown passes of his, what I hope is going to be a long NFL career, and people are upset. It's a little late in the year to complain. I had been arguing all along the Bears need to draft some offensive line help and acquire some studs in the offensive line. And Caleb Williams had to run way more than we expected. The Colts were without their star defensive lineman, Forrest Buckner or whatever, I forget his name. But he wasn't in the game, and the Colts have been torched for all kinds of yards on the ground going into the season. So we thought it would be a Bears victory. We thought there wouldn't be so much pressure. Instead, Caleb Williams had to throw the ball 52 times. That's not the recipe for success. I love Rome Odunze, but they needed a defensive line stud that would be drafted in the first round. They need a stud left tackle, not Jones, who is a work in progress, and I think he has a lot of potential. The Bears are too weak at the offensive line. It's too late to complain about it now. It's too late to say they need to get rid of coaches. Ryan Poles, this one is on you. But I did like what I saw with Caleb Williams. The 363 yards is the most by any Bears rookie quarterback ever. And I think it's the most the Bears have had in over 11 seasons. So I like what I saw. And he got 2 touchdowns, including one to Rome Odunze. I like Rome Odunze. I just didn't like the Bears drafting him. I think he's great, but what did they have to give up? They could have had a really good offensive lineman to secure that left tackle spot, but the whole offensive line, which looked like they were going to be fairly strong this year, did not play well. And everybody's going to see that. Everybody's going to blitz. And the Bears have the Rams next week at 12 o'clock, and the Rams pulled out a victory against the 49ers. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be a tough game, but it's going to be a winnable game. The stars of the day were Rome Odunze, who was 6 catches for 112 yards. And Komet had 10 catches for 97. DJ Moore had 8 catches for 78. But it's hard to hit guys if you don't have time to find guys. And then he got strip sacked at a critical point in the game. Of course, if you're going to have a tight end try to block Latu, I don't know if his name's Latu or exactly how it is. He was a big draft pick last year for the Colts as well. But don't block him with a tight end. Even if it's a good tight end, you're asking for a strip sack, and that's exactly what happened. So the Bears got to continue to work it out. I like what I see now from Caleb Williams, but I do want to point out that Justin Fields is now 3-0 as a starter with Pittsburgh because they protect him and they give him the tools to win. The key is you got to take care of your quarterback, or you're going to have to replace your quarterback. Some people are saying Caleb Williams was a bad draft choice. I think the whole draft was a mistake last year, because if you're not going to draft the lineman you need to protect the quarterback, your quarterback is lucky to walk off the field in one place. And I'm worried we're going to see Tyson Bagent at some point this season, because Caleb Williams is going to get hurt. He's a tough kid, and I like what he's done. I like his attitude, and he wants to grow and he wants to learn. But the Bears got to do something. The time to have done stuff was before. The reason I was arguing for keeping Justin Fields is so they could build up that offensive line and they could add some other talent elsewhere. And it is a learning process with a rookie, and the Bears were ready to go to the playoffs. And it's not the rookie's fault, Caleb Williams, that they're not going. It's the preparation. The general manager, Ryan Poles, he used to play line. He played for Boston College, and I hear he played in the NFL, although I never noticed. I think he was just up for a cup of coffee. But I could be wrong about that. I didn't see the point in researching that. The Bears have blown their opportunities here. And what's interesting is that Andy Dalton shined yesterday for Carolina as they benched Bryce Young. And it was a good performance. I was happy to see Andy Dalton, who was the man ahead of Justin Fields, while they were hoping Justin Fields could study in the background. And Andy Dalton has a quick release, and he's decisive, and he knows how to play football. So I'm happy for Andy Dalton. Maybe we should have kept Andy Dalton and Justin Fields and just accumulated draft choices and rebuilt that team. Drafting a quarterback and not supporting him is crazy. And it's not time to get angry at the offensive coordinator, the head coach. The time to be angry would be Ryan Poles. Because Ryan Poles did not build this team the way it's supposed to be built. You need to have a strong offensive line. You need to have a really strong left tackle. And I don't know what the Bears are going to do. But let's talk about the Cubs, because they're disappointing too. The Cubs probably are eliminated, although mathematically they're still in it. They lost yesterday. The Mets won. I think the Cubs have to win every single game, and the Mets got to lose every single remaining game. I don't see that happening. Not with all the problems they have in the bullpen and the lack of ability to produce a team. But I think the Cubs are going to be good next year. But I had so much hope for the Bears this year because Caleb Williams is the future of this franchise. He's going to have to be. They can't keep trading in and out of quarterbacks. They wasted draft choices on Trubisky. They spent a first-round draft pick on Justin Fields. What's the point of doing it if you're not going to support the guy? Support your quarterback, and he will play well. I think Trubisky had some good times, and the Bears mortgaged everything and then got rid of him. And then they went after Justin Fields with a first-round draft choice, and they didn't support him. They didn't coach him, and he's now playing well for Pittsburgh. So I hope Pittsburgh does really well this year, and Justin Fields does really well this year. And I can tell everybody I told you so because I have the recordings to prove it. I was fighting really hard to keep Justin Fields, waiting for this moment, hoping I was wrong. And I think in the long term, Caleb Williams will work out unless the Bears destroy him like they destroyed the last two quarterbacks, which is what it looks like they're going to do. You can't build a house from the roof down. You got to build it from the basement up. And the Bears are not doing that. This is the Cubbears fan report. I also want to bring up Taylor's Place. I had a steak there Saturday night. They serve Chicago-style food, and I thought it was really interesting that the Bears have Torrey Taylor and Darrell Taylor on their roster. It's all about the Taylors. They serve Chicago-style food. You can take the boy out of Chicago, but you can't take Chicago out of the boy or the man, whichever it may be. I was a boy in Chicago. I'm a man in Mississippi. Cubbears fan report. Also like my sponsor and support them, Robinhood Brewery. And I'm writing a book about a vampire in Savannah, Georgia. And so I had a character named Taylor, and I talk about Dustin, and he's also a character in my book who the vampire preys upon at the Pirate House in Savannah. Anyway, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and go Bears. That's what Caleb says. I'm a fan of Caleb Williams, even though I did not agree with the way things went down. But what else can we do? I'm a Bears fan. I'm used to it. Thank you.